everyone. Today I will be doing a recording of Assetto Corsa and kind of like a basic tutorial how to start up and how to do the basics in Assetto, like getting your wheels set up properly in the beginning. I will probably make a second video or a third, which will also tell you how to refine the quality of your steering wheel, just the real basics that I think everyone should use. So here you started your asset course, so you got like the cool video, fun, and you want to set up, of course, your wheel. To do is you go to main menu, you here have options, and in options, also video, you have the settings. With GeForce Experience and stuff like that, you can like automatically let it set it up. Do that, maybe remove a little things, make sure your FPS is amount that you would want. Maybe search up on the internet what would be suited with your graphics card and stuff, and look at certain quality things, because 60 FPS is very important in this game. You wouldn't think so, but it is very important, and trying to get to 60 FPS is very important. There's a lot of different options. Let's just go to the general. Here you can change many things. I would not force 32 bits. Never do that if your computer is 64-bit. Why would you even have a computer that is not 64-bit if you're playing this? And here you can select certain things like your the quality of your recording. Replays, you can make replays, I'll show you that later, and how big the files of your replay can be. This is very interesting, as it can it makes your replay time longer, and you can have better quality, and you can use that also as video footage. Actually, I do use that a lot, because as you can see, there's UI mods. You can have a lot of mods that can make the game very interesting. So now let's go to the controls. Now you're thinking, this is the controls. How do I start? First of all, there's here the side things with the presets. If you have a shifter, I'm using the G25 with a shifter, so I'll be probably telling you what to do and all the basic. This also kind of goes for the whole G series, G25, G27, G29, so it'll help you out. You can select it. I'll just select mine, this one, and you can then apply the presets. I'm actually not gonna do that because I have some stuff set up. Now you can, well, you want to probably change your steering, because sometimes it says it's cleared actually, and you start. Wait a sec. It says click to assign. Then you just click it and move whatever thing you have until it is recognized. There's a possibility it is not. There's problems with that. I would personally suggest search up the driver. There's always drivers for your wheel. There's from Logitech itself, Logitech gaming software. Just download it. It will help you out a little bit. Sometimes we'll even set up everything for you. And now, if that doesn't work or there are some problems, you can go to here. You go to here. Well, to start, you go to the control panel in Dutch configuratiescherm for Dutch people viewing, and you press View Devices and Printers. And here you have all the things. I have a lot of things. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. And you can set here up game controller settings. This will open this. This shows everything you have, and you have the option to press properties. In property, this is info. This is not that important. This can be like, I have Logitech Profiler because it's an old thing, and this also is kind of like a driver. It kind of supports this whole thing here. And you go to settings. I know it's Dutch, I'm sorry. And what's very important is that this is not combined. This needs to be apart, so the pedals definitely need to be apart. You'll know why in the future. well, you may know in the future if you're like searching up stuff like that. This is the spring, kind of like spring, that makes it so it always goes back to its original state. Make sure this is not selected, so the that in game the force feedback is just like in the game, and it doesn't go to the center, because that is very annoying for playing. I would definitely just turn it off, because sometimes if you click out of with the window out of Assetto Corsa and go back in, this center spring makes it go back to the center, and you can have problems. Max degrees possible. Always try to get those 900, even for people. Well, I drift a little bit in my in Assetto Corsa a little bit in free time, so I would suggest getting as high as possible, because you can actually use it. Begin it will be harder, but it will be better. Set everything 100. This can be lower than 100. This damper effect. I'm not really that sure about it, but you can put it to 0, and some games will let you do that. And in Assetto Corsa, it will change that a little bit, but I would just test it out and feel the difference and feel what you like more. This will definitely make it a little bit smoother and like softer. So you just try it out and see what you like more. It disables all the, if you move it, like it stops it from doing anything else. I don't know how to explain it actually. So, alright. So, let's go back to Assetto Corsa. Once you're back in Assetto Corsa, start up the steering. Let's just clear it here real quick. Do this. So basically you want to set up the throttle, press it in, let it go. And the problem will be, as I'm letting go, currently I'm not touching it anymore. It's going full throttle. What you need to do is press invert to stop it. This is also needed for your brakes and your clutch. It's a problem every time, for me too. Now, also handbraking can be a problem, because this game really doesn't want you to do certain things. As you can see, it's set up. I change it. Still a problem. Just do it 3 times, and the 3rd time sometimes it works. So you need to like set it up, press it a few times, and after a while it will be normal and it will work the proper way, so you can use your handbrake. For handbrake, I would just suggest get a cheap, if you want to have something proper, you can buy it for like $100 or something, or euros. But you can also just use a cheap, just a cheap joystick for flying, stuff like that. You can get one like for like 25 euros, $30 max, in second-hand shops online or something like that. Really, no, yeah, you shouldn't really pay too much for it. Just basic handbrakes, certainly for in the beginning, when you're watching this video probably. Now the shifter, to just set up your shifter. So shifter down is the left one, shifter up is the right one. Then you start to set everyone up. Just put it in the gear you want, put it back to neutral, and that will set it up. For this one, the reverse, it's very important. You can push, actually with the G series, you can push your shifter, you can push it down. It's like with a spring in it. Push it down, go to right, and then go backwards. It will put it into place in the backwards gear. This is in the same place as your 6th gear. 7th gear you probably won't use if you're using your H shifter anyways. Now secondary, you can set up your headlights, flash headlights, and if you, it's something you want. If you don't really have a joystick for handbrake, get a button, just use one of those buttons. You can also drift without using handbrake at all. For turbo pressure is something you might be interested in the beginning. These are things for in the future, if you really need to change it, if you know what you're doing already, if you're driving consistently, you can use that. Advanced, this is something you can manually change. Maybe look up on the internet what you would like. I leave it alone a little bit. I change a little bit of things, but not a lot. and there's also software for it to set it up automatically and set it up so it's good. I will probably be making another video in the future which will be more detailed about good FFB software that makes it so the quality of your steering wheel is a little bit better. Now to actually starting the game and setting it up so you can start. What is very important is this one. This is for your realism, as it says. If you're using a shifter and all these things, why just not? I would just go full professional mode, just learn it properly from the beginning. There's of course ideal racing line you can turn on. If you're starting, it's very nice to see where to stop, and if you don't know what you're doing at least. And your traction control, I would put it on factory. If a car has it, you have it. ABS also the same. Stability control off, because it's kind of like cheating. It steers a little bit for you and it helps you stabilize more. Yeah, stability control. I actually really don't like it, and I don't like people using it because it's unfair, at least when you're drifting. It does give you a little bit better performance, but in some servers it's disabled, so if someone else has learned with stability control and goes to the server without, they will definitely have a hard time with it. These things you can just change how you want it. Tire blankets don't have to. How should I explain? Tire blankets are like, if you were to turn them on, what it does is it automatically warms up your tires, so you don't have to warm them up. But that also makes it so when you're driving, your amount of pressure on your wheels decreases after a little bit. Well, pretty big change. So it's something you need to keep in mind. This thing, if you have tire blankets, you can't go too many runs. And without when they are off, they will start because of the heat of driving. They will start inflating. Well, when it's already on, it will start deflating. So I think it's something like that. I'm not really sure. Put these things all off. Just maybe ideal racing line, things like that. Now we will go to your selection of cars. You can, well, in the beginning here you have the option here, or you can press here. When you press here, you can change whatever car you want to have, and you can select it like that. I have a lot of mods, don't worry about it. So, and also you can press the use tag. Like if there's certain things you want Japanese cars or American cars, you can find them like that, which makes it a little bit easier. Also, if you are using a certain car and you want to change how it looks, you have this button. With this you can change. I'm just using this car because I just use it. And you can change how it looks, but also if you go here and you press E, you have this option. And here you can change how it is set up. You will see here the difference. The car is totally different. They are set up different. Step 1 and STD are kind of the same, I think, actually. But drift performance is always a little different, so make sure you know what to, here you can just change it and make sure you take the right one you want. So now for the tracks, if you're beginning, just starting, take something simple. You can start with something more difficult. You could start with Spa if you know the track already. It's good to already know a track. This will, well, it will help definitely. But I would just start with something simple. Just look around for simple maps. Yeah, I don't really know what's a simple map. I think, yeah, Silverstone, this is pretty basic, pretty rounded out. The corners aren't really hard. There's not really that much of corner, at least from what I've seen. So this is really basic and starting to feel how the car starts. Then you can start with something else that's a little bit difficult and just work your way up. Also in here in the session you can change temperature, wind direction if you want wind direction, not really important. just change whatever you want. There's a lot of mods also for time of day that you can download. I will give you more information about that later on in another video. And time of day, which makes like the lighting different. At least like clouds will be helpful in the beginning because the sun really makes it difficult, really makes life difficult for you. Track servers, in some server, I don't know. In some server there's optimal traction made for you, or in other servers it's really 97%. Mostly in drift servers it's not really 100% quality. So yeah, now you can start basically, and now yeah, I'm really happy they have a new loading screen. You like with the picture, this is one of those weird mod cars I downloaded. Don't worry about it. So let's wait. Okay, so now that we have now that we're in, you have this button. This makes it so you can change setups, things in your car. I wouldn't really worry about it too much. There are some things that some cars are better in certain tracks if you're setting up them in certain way. In the beginning, I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's more later on that you will be starting to change those things once you get consistent times on one lap. And also there's a lot of YouTube videos and setups that you can either download or just use video and change it how the video is. Yeah, so now we'll start driving. The FFP is not FFP. My FOV is a little bit weird because I just set it up new. I'm trying out some things. So you go to first gear. So I'm just gonna be driving a little bit so I can show you some things. It's really basic actually what I'm trying to show. So you've driven a little bit and you did something wrong. Let's just say alright, let's say you did this or something. First of all, if you set it up, you can set it up so you have penalties. And what you could do is you press escape. If you're in single player, you can, while driving actually, you can press escape and you can go to replay and see what you did wrong. You can use F keys also when driving, but also when you're just watching replay. F1, F2, F3, F4, F5. Like now I press F5 to watch around, then you can use your mouse, and you can press F1 to change how you're seated. So yeah, that's really handy. And once you can here change everything what you want. Slow motion maybe if you're interested. And stuff like that. It's really handy, and you can see in your what you did wrong and then read through the whole track. I know there's not really a mod, just rewind a little bit. You need to always start the track new. I think there's probably a mod somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. So let's press escape again. You can restart session or go back to pits. Back to pits means you go back here and you can set something here up here. Yeah, so if you're driving multiplayer and you want to press escape, you need to stop first. There are mods which make it so you can go to pits directly, but this is something, as I said, for another video, because there's a lot of little things you can change. We'll exit again. So what I wanted to say, here you can change penalties on or off. If they're on, you can use it on a leaderboard, and you can always watch how you did actually, and stuff like that. Also, you can save your replays. You can save it when you close the game, or you can save it while in the game in replay modus on the left side corner. I forgot to mention it. So here you can also use career, and you can here change. Yeah, you can start your career. This is very interesting for just starting. I really don't like driving this car in the beginning, but it does get more interesting once you go to these videos. Uh, Not these videos, these cars, but they are not that easy if if you're starting with driving in simulator. You will definitely have a challenge if you start like this. Now that we've done that, I think I've said everything that's basic and important. If you do have any questions, please write them in the comments below, or if you know me, just tell me or write me or something. If you liked the video, I don't know, like it maybe, or some subscribe or something like that. Yeah, I wish you guys a nice day, and goodbye.